It's almost that time. Happy draft week, Who Dat Nation. I hope you're pumped up for the 2023 NFL draft because I know I am. And if you are excited and you are pumped, I need you to go down and hit the thumbs up icon on today's video. And before we break down the latest Saints draft buzz as we head into the 2023 NFL draft, I want to give you all a quick reminder and a quick update. Chat Sports will be live once again for the 2023 NFL Draft. Please join us for all sorts of fun draft games, super chat incentives, all sorts of fun and interactive content where we're going to be breaking down each individual pick before they're announced on TV. So lock us in, subscribe to the main Chat Sports YouTube channel. I'll have the link to that channel in the comment section and in the description of this video. Subscribe for the best draft coverage on YouTube. All right, now let's break down some Saints draft buzz as opposed to some regular NFL draft buzz, which you can find on Chat Sports' main channel as well. But the Saints have been busy, and according to recent reports, the Saints have been doing some last-minute homework on the defensive tackle out of Pittsburgh, Calijah Kancey. Now let's see what Tony Pauline had to say on Calijah Kancey. And he's somebody who hasn't been as high on Kancey as others, but thinks he could be a good fit for the Saints. And here's exactly what he had to say. I've never been on high as Kancey as most, and I don't think he's a great first-round projection. The size at 6'1", 281 pounds, lack of growth potential, and short arms, which are just over 30.5 inches, worry me. Despite my opinion, everything I've been told in recent days points to Kancey being a lock as a first-round pick. Who would select him in the first round? If I was a betting man, I'd go with the New Orleans Saints. The franchise has been digging deep into Kancey, and this is where it gets interesting. Burning the phone lines, talking with his coaches at Pittsburgh recently to get as much detail as possible on the defensive tackle. Now, here's a picture that we've shown before and that I'm going to show y'all again in terms of why Calijah Kancey is an intriguing target for the New Orleans Saints. Obviously, he is undersized at 6'1", but guess who also came in, I guess you could say, undersized at 6'3". Aaron Donald. The weight, 281 pounds compared to Aaron Donald at 285. And the 10-yard split, 1.64 to 4.67, and the overall athleticism score of a 94. Calijah Kancey is a great prospect. The size definitely is worth mentioning. It is definitely concerning. That being said, I think that he could be a very intriguing prospect, and I think he could be a very impactful member of the Saints defensive line. And so he does have quick burst, and he is really quick, and he is very bursty, as y'all saw by the 40-yard dash time and by the 10-yard split. He is also very disruptive. He is undersized, but he has good usage of his hands, and he wins most leverage games. 6 missed tackles in 2022, and he has a quality arsenal of pass rush moves. And so whether or not the Saints like Calijah Kancey, I think that he is somebody that I would want the Saints to go and draft. I like him a little bit more than a player like Brian Breesy. And that's not saying that I don't like Breesy. I just think that in terms of there hasn't been a lot of production, but the attributes are there for Brian Breesy, whereas this is kind of the opposite. The attributes aren't necessarily there, but the production is, and I think that that's something that's worth exploring. I like Calijah Kancey a lot, but again, Who Dat Nation, y'all know what I'm about to do here. The show isn't about me, it's all about you. So show some love and let us know, would you draft Calijah Kancey at number 29 overall? Type Y for yes, type in for no. This is going to be the YouTube pinned comment, and so if you get hit with an ad break here, take advantage of it, scroll down, share your thoughts, let us know, and by the time you're done, this video will be playing again. And so one of my overall takes on the 2023 NFL draft is that defensive line is a very, very big draft need. And if you don't want to go and get a guy like Calijah Kancey, or if he's not available for whatever reason, here's some more defensive line targets that the Saints could go and get. And now I'm not even just going to say defensive interior. I'm also going to say the edge rushing position and the defensive end is just as big of a need, if not bigger. Because defensive interior, obviously, there isn't much there. But in terms of defensive end, Cameron Jordan, you got to find somebody to be a successor for him. You got to get him some help on the opposite side of the ball or on the other side of the line. So I think that a guy like Mozzie Smith for defensive interior, Brian Breesy, as well as Will McDonald, all intriguing options. And then for the edge rushing position, Will McDonald, BJ Ojolari, Keon White are all three options that you could also go and get on the edge rush or on the edge and on the outside of the defensive line. But guys, I want y'all to go down and not just subscribe to the main Chat Sports channel, to this Chat Sports channel, because we're going to have the best draft coverage on YouTube. Subscribe and turn on your notifications. And before we get into some more rumors, I just want to get all of the ad stuff done right at one time for you guys, just to make it easy. Go get geared up at chatsports.com/Saints hat for all of the Saints draft hats. You've seen them rotating next to me. You got the flat bill, got the baseball cap, you got the all black hat. They're all fresh. They're all clean. Go get geared up. This is your last chance to get your hat before the NFL draft. Otherwise, you're going to go to your party and be like, what, repping last year's draft hat? Come on now, get geared up. Chatsports.com/Saints hat. All right, so in an interesting comparison, an anonymous NFL executive told Tom Pelissero that he thinks that Jake Haener could be the next Drew Brees because he has, quote, a little Drew Brees to him. So let's break down what the quote exactly said. This is the full quote. I think he's similar to Gardner Minshew. He's got some gamer to him. He's accurate. He just doesn't have a big arm. But he's got a little Drew Brees to him. The ball's going to come out. He knows where he's going with it. He's just not a big person at 5'11", 5'11" and 5'8" and 207 pounds. So how can he hold up? So my overall arching take on this is Saints need a long-term plan at quarterback too. You obviously have Jameis Winston coming back this year. And I think that Jameis Winston, shout out J-Bo, is a phenomenal locker room guy. He's a phenomenal guy to have as a QB2. And I think that the Saints have one of the better QB1, QB2 rooms in the NFL. But Jameis Winston isn't a long-term solution at QB2 in very successful teams and teams that make runs in the NFL playoffs and into the Super Bowl invest in their quarterback too. So I think that going and getting a guy like Jake Haener later in the draft wouldn't be a bad idea to have a long-term plan at QB2. And now let's just take a look at the scouting report from our draft experts here at Chat Sports. He is undersized, but he is smart and he is very accurate. Now, his timing and rhythm is also very, very good. And he is a tough dude, but he does have an average arm. And he's not much of a runner, and he has issues versus pressure. And that's something that, for me personally, I want a quarterback who has athletic ability and the ability to run if needed. I'm not saying he has to be a, just dynamic dual threat guy like a Lamar Jackson or an Anthony Richardson, but I want him to be able to run around and move in the pocket or escape the pocket and pick up a few yards if he needs to. So in terms of comparing Jake Haener to Drew Brees, coming out of college, I guess the measurables for Drew Brees, 6 foot, 209 pounds, his hand size at 10 and a quarter inch, and his senior year stats, 60.4 completion percentage, 3,600 yards in the air, 26 touchdowns and 12 interceptions. Now, Jake Haener coming out of college this year, he's at 5'11", so just an inch shorter, 207 pounds, which is 2 pounds lighter. He is at has hands the size of 9 and 3/8 of an inch, and then his senior year stats a little bit impressive, not as impressive with Drew Brees, but the decision making you could argue was a lot better. The 72 completion percentage, 2,896 yards in the air, 20 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. And as I said, my take on this, I wouldn't mind this pick if it's a 4th or 5th round guy. And plus, there are also just a lot of solid late round quarterbacks. So I'm not just going to say, go get Jake Haener like right away. There's also other quarterback draft targets that are going to be available later in the draft, 5th, 6th, even 7th round. Max Duggan definitely is going to be available late in the draft. Stetson Bennett may go undrafted entirely. So that's going to be really interesting. Imagine being the only back-to-back national championship winning quarterback to not go drafted. This is unbelievable. Malik Cunningham out of Louisville, also a very interesting prospect. He could also potentially not go drafted or be picked in the 7th round. He broke Lamar Jackson's touchdown record at Louisville, so that's something that's worth noting, and he's a really dynamic dual threat guy. But also DTR, Dorian Thompson-Robinson. We've talked about him a little bit here on the channel, and I think that he would be another intriguing prospect you'd have to probably go get in the 5th or 6th, but a late-round draft prospect nonetheless. So who is it? Let me know, who Dat Nation. Name a quarterback that you would draft. I think that a quarterback 3 right now, but long-term QB 2 is a sneaky need for the Saints. And I don't hate the idea of going and gambling on a late-round draft pick for a quarterback because it's a late-round pick. Maybe they make the roster, maybe they don't. 7th round, Stetson Bennett's there, Max Duggan, Jake Haener. Why not? Go get him. It's just see what happens. He may not even make the roster. You could just be your practice squad quarterback for the long term anyway. But Who Dat Nation, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I hope you guys are excited for the NFL draft. We're going to be getting y'all draft content every day leading up to Thursday, so be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. Y'all stay golden. We'll catch you next time. Peace.